Hello, hello. Happy Juneteenth, everybody. We have a really special episode on Femme Furious this week. I am doing a collaboration with the beautiful, ever lovely Eteng Ettah, who hosts her own podcast, which she'll tell you about in a little bit, called Consider This for Comfort. So we're doing a Black Baddie comfort draft. We have 5 different categories that we'll be going through about all of our different comfort shows, comfort characters, comfort soundtracks, all centered on Black baddies who are making pop culture amazing. So here's a little bit about Eteng. Based in New York City and raised by Nigerian immigrants and MTV, Eteng Ettah currently hosts the award-winning podcast Consider This for Comfort, where she breaks down what our favorite comfort TV shows say about our society and culture. She is a narrative and creative strategist with a deep love for storytelling and culture. With over a decade of experience, she's helped nonprofits, media orgs, and brands bring their missions to life through smart strategy, compelling narratives, and audience-first communications. Whether she's shaping a campaign, building meaningful partnerships, or weighing in on pop culture, Eteng's work lives at the intersection of strategy, storytelling, and pop culture commentary. Her commentary and analysis have been featured across a range of platforms, including the Black Star Film Festival, Scalawag Magazine, NPR Stateside, Free Speech TV, New York Amsterdam News, WGN TV, and more. I am so excited to have Eteng here having this conversation with me. If you remember, all the way last year, just at the very beginning of this podcast, I had done a Black Baddie draft with Amani. I will tag that in the show notes. So if you want more Black Baddie content for your Juneteenth, go ahead, eat it up, listen, enjoy wherever you may be, put it on as you celebrate. Before I dive into this conversation with Eteng, I just want to give you some housekeeping before we get into the conversation. If you've been like, hello, where is the rest of the every year after content? I'm sorry. I am trying to figure out how to fit everything in because like summertime, in case you missed it, is content crazy. So instead of going 2 by 2 for the rest of the season, I'm going to do episodes 3, 4, and 5, and then 6, 7, and 8 together. So let me give you our schedule because we're moving things around because House of the Dragon is coming back in. House of the Dragon comes back this Sunday. If you've ever listened to this podcast and you've been like, hey, I don't know if you fangirl hard enough, then I would implore you to listen to, at the very least, episode 1 of House of the Dragon season 3, because I could tell you right now, my love for Matt Smith, Emma Darcy, and Olivia Cook is undying and unwavering. And I really can't wait to talk about them on my podcast. So Femme Furious will be covering House of the Dragon starting on Tuesday, the 23rd. I also have a bisexual baddie draft coming out. So if you thought the baddie drafts were over for this month, sorry, but all of the baddies exist in June. So we'll have our Black baddie draft today. We'll have our bisexual baddie draft probably next Wednesday, TBD. Some point by the end of Pride Month, we will have that episode come out. Just shouting out that Supergirl comes out on the 26th. I will be covering this on the podcast. I just don't know when because I'm going away and I'll be away that week. So bear with me as I try to fit all of the content in. We're probably going to have a lot of bonus episodes in July. That Friday, the 26th, every year after, episodes 3, 4, and 5. Tuesday, the 30th, every year after, episodes 6, 7, and 8. So we'll be done with every year after at the end of June. Going into July, which is crazy to me that we're already here. Friday, July 3rd, House of the Dragon episode 2. Okay? Then we'll be back on a regular schedule where House of the Dragon will be out on Sundays and Tuesdays will be going into those episodes. So it's just that one episode that's getting displaced. There will be a Dames of Democracy episode, just like there was last year on the 4th of July. Elle, which is the prequel to Legally Blonde, comes out beginning of July. I'm not sure when I'm covering that, but I will cover that. I don't know if we'll go episode by episode or maybe we'll just do a whole season recap and sort of our thoughts on it. Let me know what you think. There's a lot of content that's coming out in July and a lot of things to cover and a lot of good TV and a lot of really good books that are coming out and a lot of really good movies that are coming out. And Femme Furious is going to find a way to fit all of it in. But send me your thoughts and feelings and opinions and fangirl messages over at feminefuriouspod@gmail.com because I would love to hear it. So that's our kind of upcoming schedule. Here's your feminist follow through for today. This episode of Femme Furious is supporting the Holding Space Foundation. The Holding Space Foundation was established in 2021 by Dr. Joy Harden Bradford, founder of Therapy for Black Girls, as a response to the growing need for mental health services for Black women and girls as a response to the pandemic and continued instances of race-based violence, sexism, and misogynoir. Seeing the need for more comprehensive and culturally responsive services, the Holding Space Foundation was developed to provide group healing spaces for Black women and girls, training for mental health professionals, and community education with a focus on prevention. Their hope is that through these initiatives, Black women and girls have space, knowledge, and resources to tend to their mental health. So, in the show notes, I will tag their website. Either go make a donation for your feminist follow through, or I would implore you to look at their resources. They have holding spaces, which have group therapy for Black women and girls facilitated by mental health professionals. They have training opportunities. They have community education resources, lectures, classes, workshops, like anything that you may need if that's your zone. And they also just have additional resources. They have curated resources around videos, podcasts, worksheets, all there to help you. So choose your lane, choose whatever feels best for you. Think about how you want to show up in advocacy, especially on a day like Juneteenth, how you want to show up as an ally, and then go and poke around on their website and find what avenue of expression of allyship and advocacy works best for you. I am sending you all so much love. Happy Juneteenth, and enjoy this conversation with Eteng Ettah. Welcome, Eteng. I'm so happy to have you here.
Yes, so happy to be here.
Before we jump in, even though I've, given everybody your lovely bio, I want you to plug your show, your incredible show that I absolutely love listening to. It's becoming one of my comfort shows. I almost put you in here, and then I thought it would be too meta and maybe make you uncomfortable, so I didn't.
Nice. I would have welcomed it either way, but so excited to be here. My name's Eteng. I host the award-winning podcast, Consider This for Comfort, where we break down what your favorite comfort TV shows say about society and culture. So it's equal parts TV analysis and culture commentary. So if you are a TV buff and want to be inspired to think about your favorite shows in a different way, this is for you. If you're also someone who's like, I want to hear conversations about modern dating, gender, etc., you also have something for you. So equal parts for all of those people who are on either side, which I feel like most people intersect anyway. So
yeah, we're going to be doing a little bit of that today. So we're kind of doing a mashup. For those of you that are here and listening to my show, I love to talk about everything from as much intersection as I possibly can. This episode is coming out on Juneteenth, so happy Juneteenth to anyone listening.
Yes.
And so we're doing a little bit of mashup between to my typical, hey, hi, let's talk about amazing women and what they're doing in the world, intersecting with Juneteenth, and also Consider This for Comfort. So we're doing our annual Black Baddie draft. If you listened last year, this was a fun conversation that I had with a girlfriend of mine, Amani. This year, Tang so graciously stepped in and is having this conversation with me. And so we're doing top 5 different comfort categories. Tang will go first. We're going to start with our first one, which is comfort character.
Yes. This one was fun. It immediately came to mind. It's Janine Teagues of Abbott Elementary. And Abbott Elementary has my heart for so many reasons. It's one of my favorite comfort shows. It was the very first episode of my podcast. It'll always have a warm and fuzzy place in my heart. Her character is amazing because she is chronically optimistic, sometimes naive, but like can see the best in any situation. And for folks who have been watching over the course of seasons, it's been fun to see how she's grown. Like she is getting better at setting boundaries. She's getting better at saying what she wants. She's in a relationship right now that is much healthier than in the beginning, she was in a relationship with someone very different. So it's been really fun to see that there isn't this false binary between being nice and optimistic and like going for what you want. And so I think it's a beautiful combo. And the last thing I'll say about Abbott Elementary is this next season, when it comes back in the fall, it's going to hit 100 episodes.
Ah.
So many, many shows, as we know, do not hit this milestone anymore. So just another reason why I feel like Quinta Brunson in particular is here to save the day with TV.
I love that so much. I've not seen Abbott Elementary, and I know
Oh.
whenever I say this, I always feel like it's a big
Mm.
gap in my, like, pop culture landscaping,
Yeah.
and it's one of those things where it's just, like, the ship sailed without me,
It's
and
moving. We're moving.
I was on shore just like, "Everyone's watching the show!" And I'm always watching something obscure, like, at
Mhm,
first, and then
mhm.
it kind of grows in popularity after, and then I go back to those other shows.
Yes.
That's always been sort of how I've caught the wave of things pop
Yeah.
culturally, but yeah, Abbott Elementary has been on my list for a really long time, and I'm glad you brought it up because part
Mhm.
of my personal homework for myself this year was like, "Hey, I wanna, like, really work to fill in those gaps." So one of the things that I've been doing is reading Lord of the Rings because 'cause I've never read it,
Oh, I
and
haven't either.
I would always I would always pick up The Hobbit,
Mhm.
and I would be like, for somebody who loves music and loves to sing, I would be like, "There's simply way too much singing in this book, and I cannot conjure enough melodies to
Right.
possibly get past what is all the singing."
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've been, like, slowly adding to my list over the course of this year when people bring something up, and I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I haven't watched that," and Abbott
Yeah.
Elementary is one of those things, so I do not know this character, so I really cannot comment on her.
Yeah.
Um, I'm glad that we're kicking it off with, like, we're gonna have different stuff
Yeah.
because,
Yeah.
as I was looking at my list, I was like, "Is my list basic?" And I think it kind of is. But there's supposed to be comfort, like, what is comfort if not
Absolutely.
basic? So,
Yeah.
I don't know this character, but I love that from what you're saying, she's a character on an arc. She's
Mhm.
doing things different over 100 episodes, that's giving you, like, a wide berth that this
Oh, yeah.
character is experiencing, so I can't wait to go watch, and then I'll be, like, texting you and be like,
Yes.
"Ah, now I
Please,
see who she
please.
is."
Yes, yes. And it's a show that I watched while airing, but it is so good to binge. Like at the end of every episode, you're gonna be feeling great. It's a good pick me up. But I also love that you are such a trendsetter because you start with shows, you see the vision for early, and then everybody else comes. So that's also great.
I've always been that way, and I went to a school, unfortunately, I went to theater school, and, I went to, like, school with, like, the definition of hipsters,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
at that point, I was like, "I'd like to be basic about everything," and even then, I
Right.
feel like I would still catch the trend on something. I've just
Mm-hmm.
always had that eye, and it depends on the thing, but a lot of things I do jump right in because I'm like, everyone's talking
The
about this,
people are
so I
talking.
wanna talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Mm-hmm.
I'll watch something, but there's a lot of stuff where I'm like, if people just knew how good this was, this would be a thing that they talk about. And then it catches up and I'm like,
Exactly.
"Yay, everyone's talking about
Mhm,
it now." So,
mhm.
this just happened with, like, the most recent Game of Thrones property, which seems like you'd have Game of Thrones behind it, and it was, like,
Right.
episode 1 was pretty low rated with
Mm.
the Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and I had read the book, so I'm like, "No, when you watch it, you're really gonna be immersed in a really different type of Game of Thrones story," and by, like,
Yeah.
the 5th or 6th episode, like, right at the very end of the season is when the ratings really started to pick up, and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, it's
Yes.
good."
Join me, join
Yeah.
me.
"Come talk to me about anything Game of Thrones."
Yes, which that's I was at a live show. There's a really great podcast called Let Me Say This.
Oh.
Hunter Harris and Peyton Dix, really cool pop culture girlies, definitely folks I admire. They had a very fun question that was like, what's your cultural blind spot. And I love that as like, let's, there's no way we've all watched and seen and read everything. We pretend like we do. But I loved the like permission to be like, hey, this thing that everyone's seen, I have not. So, I'm here for owning it.
Yeah. Abbott Elementary is mine.
Yeah.
and Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, same. I mean, I started Game of Thrones. I need to get back into it, but that's one of mine.
All right. It's not for everybody. It really
Yeah.
wasn't for me, if I'm being honest. Like, I had read all of the books, and I remember when they were coming out with House of the Dragon, and I didn't watch season 1 because people were like foaming at the mouth to go back to Westeros, and I'm like, really, to this world where like women are raped, and I'm like, I don't want. To me, maybe this is more in the comfort category, but to me, like what makes something a story worth revisiting, to me, not just a story to be immersed in, because Game of Thrones, while it was happening, was like a fun time to be immersed in a pop cultural moment, and sometimes that's all something is. But then there are things, there are stories, there are characters that you want to come back to again and again. And for me, I've noticed a lot of the times that those happen to be with worlds that I would want to be in.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be in Westeros.
No.
There's like zero part of me that wants to be living in King's Landing, dealing with the nonsense of this political landscape. I barely want to be dealing with this current political landscape. So like, you're going to tell me now you're going to take away my plumbing and my rights? Like,
exactly.
No, thank you.
No AC during this heat wave we're in. Yeah.
So for me, there really is like nothing that is so compelling about the world that I want to be pulled back into it to like sit down and binge the 7 seasons again.
Exactly.
I think I would if I was doing it with a friend or somebody going through it for the first time. But like on its own, it's not one of the things that I'm like, yeah, if I have some time to kill, let me throw Game of Thrones on. It's just not a fun thing to leave on in the background.
No. I hear that. And I love that you're mentioning the elements of a comfort show, because that's one of my first things that I'll ask people, like, how do you define it? Because everyone has their own spin on it. Some people who like horror for that are like, I like the adrenaline, or, some people are like, I want escapism. So it's just really cool to hear like, this is a world that I want to be grounded in. Like, that's why I would want to revisit it in the first place. So
yeah. That's a huge part of it for me, at least.
Yeah.
I think people are another one, but we can save that for your podcast. People that you watch with are a part of it too.
Absolutely. Yeah. The communal element of TV that's probably why I'm such a TV person. And this is why I miss Twitter, because I feel like Twitter was like my favorite place to talk about TV shows. Like, I would sit down, especially if I wasn't watching a show with somebody, I'd like sit down and be like, okay, what's on the hashtag? What are the memes? What are all of that? And we still get that on Instagram and other places, but I just feel like Twitter in its like prime was very, very good for that like communal experience.
Yeah. There was something about like that period of time. I just wrote an article about like the rise and fall of the of social media from an astrology perspective.
Okay.
And one of the things that I said was like, the golden trifecta of like social media was Facebook in its prime.
Yep.
Twitter.
Yep.
And Snapchat. Like when
Snapchat.
that came out.
Yes.
So, and Instagram came out in that era, but it wasn't what it was now. It was like, there was something about like you would watch. I mean, I watched a lot of stuff with my friends live, especially in high school or whatever, but there was something about like when we couldn't be together, you would be like on your Facebook wall, somebody would post, did you see Kanye West take the microphone away from Taylor Swift? And you'd have like 30 people in your comments.
Yes.
And there was something about that like era where even when we weren't together, we were together.
Absolutely.
And there's definitely more algorithm push now. It feels almost like if you have a thought about something, you're going to get that video from the same perspective like 100 times.
Yeah.
So it is different. I do miss the Twitter days too. I really do.
I know. That's such a good trifecta. And I feel like it was it just better replicated what communal watching was, and people weren't necessarily like, the algorithms are definitely a problem. Like, some people are saying some really great stuff, and if you're not using the right TikTok dance, no one's gonna see it. So there's such a level of polish to social media now where, I mean, I'm honestly doing it kind of against my will at this point, but I enjoyed it a lot more because I felt like you could like
Mhm.
be more authentic and let your hair down and be like, okay, I don't have to think about all of these social media best practices. I'm just
Yeah,
talking to other fans about this. So,
I love it. Well, mine
yeah.
is a little bit more depressing.
Yeah. Okay. Let's
You're like,
pivot.
my comfort character is happy-go-lucky. Um,
Yes.
I think mine is a little bit of recency bias, and I think maybe
Mm-hmm.
some grief and mourning around what has just happened to this character. But for everyone listening, I'm just gonna preface: I will not be spoiling anything from the latest season, but I want to talk about Rue, played by Zendaya
Mm.
in Euphoria. Season 1 and
Yes.
2 of this show is something I'm gonna get probably choked up multiple times throughout this episode,
Please. Yeah.
but is something that is so interwoven with the foundation of my being.
Mm.
When
Mm-hmm.
there are people that have said like Zendaya can't act, which I'm like, okay.
Ruh-roh. What are we talking
Like,
about?
I'm like, have you seen her in Euphoria?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because this is such it's just an embodied performance
Mm-hmm.
of and such a
Mm-hmm.
raw performance of addiction of this young girl who just is grieving.
Mm-hmm.
Just somebody who is
Mm-hmm.
so emotionally despondent, and hollowed out from the loss of her father and
Mm-hmm.
the pressure and the experience of watching him slowly die before her eyes,
Yeah.
paired on top of, like, some neuroses, some, like, OCD, you know,
Yeah.
some anxiety disorders, but
Mm-hmm.
mostly just the fact that all of these things that she's struggling with, her bipolar disorder, her anxiety, they're all amplified by his loss.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then her addiction like impedes her from having these deep relationships with people that she grew up with, that she cares about, and that you can tell really clearly care about her. And the wave of emotions that she goes through, from being an addict and just saying whatever she can in the moment because she needs to get high,
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
visceral need to get high, and the sort of the waning of the emotional experience when she recognizes almost instantaneously right after she says something cruel or hurtful
Yeah.
how compassionate she then is, or how quick she is to say, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean
Mm-hmm.
that, I didn't really mean that.
Mm-hmm.
And you see this a lot with her sister Gia in the show, and you see it with
Yeah.
her mom. And you see it with Fez a lot too.
Yeah.
And I think season 3 is really took Euphoria away from everything
Yes.
about it that made it something special for me. And so I don't want to talk necessarily about her performance there, but in season 1 and season 2, and this place that we leave her in season 2 feels so complete to me, that she's sober and she's getting help and she's found forgiveness for, her
Mm-hmm.
mom, and for Jules, who she's felt so betrayed by,
Yeah.
at this moment, and has gotten forgiven, has been offered forgiveness by her sponsor Ali, and we just leave her in such a good spot where she says, I stayed sober for the rest of this year, and I want to just like leave her there in
Yeah.
that spot. But when I
Yeah.
think about like a character, maybe not necessarily like a character I'm comforted by, but a character that I just feel like I want to just wrap her up in my arms and just
Yes.
like nurture
Yes.
her and love her and just tell her like it really does get better. You really can get help. You really can find
Mm-hmm.
another path.
Mm-hmm.
And so that when we do leave her in that spot in season 2, we feel like she's going in a direction that is somewhere where you're like 10 years from now, I can't wait to see my bestie.
Exactly.
I can't wait to see her and see
Mm-hmm.
how her life has expanded and grown. And
Yes.
that's where I am like mentally leaving her. It's not where her story necessarily ends,
Yeah. Yeah.
but for me, season 3 is sort of like a wash, and I will always sort of leave that performance, and Rue in season 2, and I love her so much. I just feel so endeared to her and charmed by her.
I love that. I love that. Before you said you wanted to wrap your arms around her, I was like, oh, Rue is someone I want to give a hug. Like, I want
Yeah.
to give her such a hug. The people, there's so many thoughts I have. The people saying Zendaya can't act,
Like,
that's a
what?
skill issue. That's on you. This character, especially, I mean, she disappears. And that's such a feat because Zendaya is such a superstar. But
Yeah.
when I watched Euphoria, and she was pretty famous by the time, even season one, but I wasn't like, oh, I'm watching Zendaya. I'm like watching Rue. And I feel like that is a whole other level of skill to have like such a mainstream person really disappear into that character. And I feel like we're definitely on the same page about seasons 1 and 2. I'm like, I'm not sure what like 3 is this is just a completely different
So weird.
thing. Very weird. But yeah, I mean, I love complicated stories. I love stories about topics that are in the shadows or something that is to be ashamed of. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I love analyzing TV because it gives you this like shared piece of media to be able to have conversations about this. And I love TV that has some sort of message. And so I can only imagine how many conversations became possible because of a character like Rue. And so, the impact that this character has had on people, I'm sure we may never know. And so it's a shame where things ended up with this show. And I do feel like the enduring impact and legacy of Rue is definitely saving lives. Is definitely, exactly what you're describing of, I want to see Rue 10 years from now. And I'm like, there's probably so many Rues who will have a 10 years from now because they saw this story and they saw themselves or they saw somebody they know. Just the incredible amount of humanity and care, and the way that Zendaya would talk about this character. And this is another reason for the gap between 1 and 2 and 3 is that obviously she was executive producing. It's very clear she was way more involved. And so
Yeah.
yeah, I bow down to Zendaya for so
Me
many
too.
reasons. She's killing it. But I love Rue. She's great.
I love Rue so much. And
Yeah.
I really love Zendaya in this performance. Like, it
So
took
good.
her to somebody that, like, you knew.
Mhm. Mhm.
No, she was
Very
on the
lived
Disney
in.
Channel.
Right.
Yeah. She was on the Disney Channel, like, just outside of, like, the time period that I probably would have been
Same.
maybe a little bit older,
Yeah.
but seeing her in this role, and seeing the care that she takes and knowing that this girl is a Virgo, okay?
Yup.
Zendaya's a Virgo, and
Yes.
there is this one scene where she's trying to open the Jolly Rancher. I said, "That is how you know
Mhm.
she's
Mhm.
a Virgo," because that's to get, like, the motor skills, to be able to, like,
Yes.
fumble your motor skills as an
No, for
addict going
real.
through withdrawal, it's so amazing.
Oh
So
my gosh.
I
Yeah.
just I love Rue, I love Zendaya, I love them both. I would love to, like, be Zendaya's friend and, like, the
I
less than
know.
0% chance that she's listening to this podcast,
You
like,
never know. You never
I
know. I'm always manifesting. I'm like, we can get this to somebody on her team somehow. We don't know
yeah.
how, but
She
yeah.
listens and she's like, "Great, let's all have dinner."
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I one of the things that I love about HBO shows is the like behind the scenes. I'm like, I need hours and hours of I would sit and watch like a 20-hour documentary of her talking about her process of being able to do that cuz that's such a great example of the Jolly Rancher. And then I also think about, I think this is season 2, I mean, that explosive fight that she's having with her mom and she's kicking this door down. And I was like, so many emotions. One,
Yeah.
this is the Emmy submissions tape right here.
Mhm.
But I mean, talk about a visceral, how do you do that? How do you, how do you wake up one morning and then like go and do that? It's so incredible because I feel like the craft of TV feels like magic. And then I love to be reminded, like, oh, it is everyday people who figure this out. So she's so talented and still she's accomplished so much. And I feel like her career is just beginning. I'm like,
I do
I think she's
too.
barely 30, if even. I don't know, but
I think her and Tom are in their early 20s. I think they're, like, 24.
oof.
I could be wrong about that, but like sometimes like these people come up in pop culture.
Yeah.
Tom Holland's one of them.
Mm-hmm.
The Hudson Williams and Connor Story, who are just in heated rivalry,
Yes.
they are two people. There are certain people where I'm like, I'm older enough than you that
Mm-hmm.
I understand that people think you're attractive.
Mm-hmm.
Like a female audience or even male audience thinks you're attractive.
Yeah.
There's something about like those actors in that age bracket. It's like the Tom Hollands where I'm like, I actually just feel like I want to be your bodyguard. Um,
Yes.
I just want my New Yorker to come out to like all of these people, like for Zendaya,
Yeah.
and just be like, can you just back up a little bit?
Yeah.
Just back
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I feel like I would be uh I don't even know. I just feel like I would be so protective, like a Cynthia Erivo
Oh
to like an
yeah. To
Ariana
Ariana
Grande, where I'm
Grande.
like, please back up off of
Back
my
up.
friends.
Right. When that man like ran up that the Wicked for Good press tour, I don't you're an astrologist. I don't know what was going
It
on
was
vibes
weird.
wise, but I'm like, we need some sage. We need because a lot of weird things were happening. But
It
shout
was
out to
almost like,
Cynthia.
yeah, it was almost like they couldn't recreate the magic of what
I
they did the year before. It was weird.
know. It's so
Um
weird. Oh my gosh. Wicked part 1 was like a quarter of my personality. Like it like I had seen Wicked on Broadway and was always kind of familiar with the story, but something about that first part, I wasn't expecting it to like hit in the way that it did, but I like bought the DVD, I watched the directors, like I was like I want it all. Like I saw it in theaters so many different times. It was such a good time.
I love it. Cynthia Erivo's kind of connected to my second
Oh,
comfort, but
great
oh no, no,
segue
no.
though.
I'm sorry. That wasn't because it's not the second one, but but we will segue. So
Yeah.
tell me what your comfort theme song is.
Yes. So I'm gonna take us on a little bit of a journey
Love it.
because my comfort theme song that the first thing that came to mind was the Arthur theme song. And why I'm taking us on this journey is because obviously Arthur and his family are a bunch of aardvarks, but they have always felt black to me. So
Yeah.
and I was reminded of the Arthur theme song because so I'm based in New York City. Obviously, we all love Zoran. And so he had a video to the theme song of Arthur where he's like riding on a bike, promoting this like new bike lane construction. And I was like, yo, this theme song and all of the PBS kids
They
theme
slap.
songs slap. And that's another documentary I need too. Like you all, someone, and I love this is the respect that children's media deserves. Like you should put your all into this. But I'm like, I need the documentary because how did it all was slapping. And I'm like, I love Arthur so, so much. I love DW. I have an older brother. And so I always love like we would watch Arthur together and I loved the like, Arthur's the brother, DW's the sister. I wasn't as like conniving and mischievous as she was, but I loved like she stood on business and she is just incredible. And I loved seeing my peer and I'm like, oh, I like admire her. I want to be DW. She is already such a strong Black girl.
Yep.
And there's a lot to be unpacked around like strength in girls and the adultification of young girls too. But I do love that, like, you're not messing with her. She's so smart and she's so charming. So yeah. So shout out to Arthur and shout out to PBS.
I love that. I think Arthur 100% counts as like a black baddie.
Yes.
Yeah. I too picked not a children but a teen
Okay.
song, which is the Kim Possible theme song, "Call Me Beat Me," which is
Oh,
done by Christina
Christina
Milian.
Milian. Yep. Yep.
I When I
Ooh.
tell you, it's a no skip for me. It's
Oh.
on
Oh
my
yeah.
iTunes, it's on my Spotify. If it
Yes.
shuffles on, there are certain songs that I feel like, and this is just true to my personality, sometimes I'll be like, I like this thing ironically to the point
Mm-hmm.
where then it's no longer ironic. Like I think I just
Exactly.
actually like it.
Yes.
one of those things is like, That's How I Beat Shaq.
Oh,
That's a no skip shot.
Yes. Okay, Aaron Carter.
I'm bringing that to karaoke every time.
Oh my gosh. And it's a hit. It's a hit because people forget about that song, and then you turn it on and then you've saved karaoke night.
I'm doing every part.
Yes.
I'm getting the audience involved.
Yes.
Yes. But Christina Milian, I loved her when I was younger.
Yes.
She actually sang a song, and I know this is going to be so random, and I couldn't even tell you the name of the song. How I found Christina Milian was I went to the 102 Dalmatian with Glenn Close when in Manhattan. I went to the premiere to that. Okay.
Wow.
And I went to Toy Store, the Toys R Us right next door, and I rode the little Ferris wheel with my mom. And I got a little stuffed animal of a Dalmatian, and I got the CD, and the CD had a song by Christina Milian. And I was like, who is this girl?
Right.
And then it was either like right around the same time is when Moulin Rouge, that with Pink and Christina Aguilera, like all of that came out.
Yes.
And then she was on my radar, and then I one day found out that she sang the Kim Possible theme song, and that was just simply it for me. I was a committed fan for life.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I love the Kim Possible. I love Kim Possible.
Such a good show. Such
comfort
a good show.
for me. I love it.
Yes. Yes.
And I just find this theme song to be so fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so girl power.
Yes. Yes.
I feel like I want to put on cargo shorts and like a black tank top.
Yep.
And just go save the world. And I feel like only Christina Milian could lead us there.
Exactly. Could conjure up that emotion. I also love the summer spin on Kim Possible's outfit there. Now I need to go and look up the soundtrack of, it's 102 or 101?
No, it was 102 Dalmatians.
102. Yeah, no idea.
Or maybe it was 101 Dalmatians too. I'm not sure.
There was a time where like
Glenn Close.
Glenn Close. So many of these movies were getting like 2, 3, Lion King, 1.5. But yes, Christina Milian, she has a song called AM to PM. And I was on a super fun girls trip in Toronto. And my really good friend plays it, and I'm like, and I love immediately getting transported back to that time. But she had so many bops, like she killed it. But Call Me, Beat Me. I also love the like early tech of it all. Yeah, I'm yearning. I have a lot of thoughts on the current state of technology, and I'm like, that's when it was fun and community oriented, not what it is now. But that also just reminds me of, now I'm thinking about That's So Raven. And that theme song. List. Yes. Okay. We'll save
it. I guess it's not. Maybe I took it off to put this on there.
To put that
I did have That's So Raven originally. Actually, I originally had Out of the Box, but technically that's the girl Vivian. I don't know the actress's name in real life, but Vivian is actually of Asian descent. I don't know what she is.
Not a black baddie.
Not a black baddie. There's a handsome black man.
There is a handsome black man. Yup.
But not technically a black baddie, so I took it off the list.
Fair. Yes, PBS though. And they had that like handshake thing part and part of, I loved that. So good. And I also now I'm thinking about UPN. I don't know if you were watching like One-on-One, Half and Half, but all of those shows. And I was like, I need to be here as soon as this show starts. That's probably why I'm one of the like most timeliest people you'll ever meet. But I'm like, I can't miss the theme song. Like I need to be prepared because it's a bop every time.
It's actually one of the things that I find really hard about streaming because particularly like a Netflix will skip over.
They're skipping
the theme song.
I didn't ask you to do that.
And I actually feel like it's a part of the whole experience. Absolutely. And now it's designed to be taken out. And like yesterday, for example, I just went to go see Stranger Things First Shadow. They they did the show. There's basically like a cold open. It runs like a Netflix show. So
Yeah.
there's like a cold open, and then it played the Stranger Things theme music while like the Stranger Things logo kind of zoomed in on their
Mhm.
scrim. And me and my sisters were like looking at each other like so geeked and jazzed over this
Mhm.
thing because it's a part of the experience. It really is. And so
100%. a hundred
I
percent.
I think Amazon Prime does the best where they don't necessarily skip over it.
Yeah.
Um and I will say Apple does a good job of this too. It will
Yeah.
let you watch or like option to skip, but to me
Yeah.
I'm like it's a part of it. I want to
It's a
sing the
part
theme
of it.
song. I'm like getting into character to
Exactly.
watch the show.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like, you come home, you kind of need to like have that moment to decompress before you like launch into the thing. But yeah, it's such a shame that like yeah, people aren't making theme songs and because the ways that the TV landscape has shifted and a couple tech bros made that decision that nobody, we're just gonna hop into the show. We now are like another reason why like being at the whim of, five dudes is not great for our media landscape.
Yeah.
But I'm like, bring back the theme songs. We want them. We want them. I also feel like because we don't have theme songs, the like opening the frame that like shows the name of the show. I've seen some shows where I'm like, this is in like Times New Roman fonts. Like you're not even getting
That's so
creative with how you're like visually showing me the name of the show. And I will say to your point, Apple TV, like they still kind of like have a lot of creativity with how they'll reveal that. But it's just like there's so many trickle down effects. Like if we don't have the theme song, then the opening card is not as important. And it's just like we need these things. Like there's
yeah.
a reason why these things have been around for decades.
Yeah. It seems now like a lot of people are just doing like the cold open and then the title card and
Yeah.
like the name of the episode and then they go into the
Mhm.
episode and I'm like it does take something away from me.
Yes,
Um
100%.
I really have always enjoyed a theme song and I feel like there's nothing that puts you into a moment. Like, my sister just got into school in California, so she's been listening to a bunch of California songs. She
Love that.
sing California by Phantom Planet.
Mhm.
I'm 17 on my couch.
Yeah.
I was actually way younger than that. I was like 14 on my couch with
Mhm.
all of my friends
Yeah.
ready to watch the OC. And it takes you
Yes.
back to these
So
moments
good. So
where
good.
the theme song is a part of
Yes.
the experience, and it's one of the things that I just watched Margot's Got Money Trouble. I was covering it on the podcast. They had
Mhm.
a theme song, and I would wake up on like Wednesday mornings
Yeah.
making my coffee singing the theme song, and I'm like, yeah, because my body knows I'm
Yes,
about to go sit down and watch
exactly.
it.
We're about to get a treat. Yes, yes. And I love the OC example because, I say that I'm raised by Nigerian immigrants in MTV. I mean, music and TV are one and the same. And so I'm like, so many people get introduced to new artists, new songs because of these theme songs. And so I'm like, yeah, just another thing that we're kind of losing with not having that like universal shared experience of like we
Yeah.
all know this theme song. We now have gotten put on to a new person, etc. And so, yeah, bring back theme songs.
Bring back theme songs. Christina
Yeah.
Milian, come out of
Christina
retirement. Where
Milian.
are you?
I know. Well, it's so funny because I was randomly on TikTok. She came up on my TikTok. She moved to Paris and has like
Oh,
a mini, like multi-part series of like, here's why I decided to move to Paris and I moved my whole family out here. So, I hope the French realize how much of a gem they have in her being over
I'm sure they will monopolize on that at some
there.
point or another.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it. So, kind of in the same vein, we're still in music, but we're
Yes.
expanding to a full discography. So your comfort soundtrack.
Yes. This one was tricky, and I'm still going back and forth in my mind. I'm
Okay,
gonna
say both.
go. I'll say both. My contemporary one is the Sinners soundtrack. I love that film for so many reasons. I think it is such a cinematic masterpiece, the way that it's genre bending, the way that it is such a so much care was put into building out the historical context. I think about how Ryan Coogler had this amazing clip for Kodak where he's literally teaching us different film strips, and I'm like, this is amazing. Like, the people want to know about the craft and how you are pulling these together. And the Sinners cast, obviously, understandably, we talk a lot about Michael B. Jordan. Shout out to Michael B. Jordan. So happy that he
Shout out
won.
to Michael B. Jordan. Thank you for existing.
Exactly. Just generally, thank you. I'm so excited for the next time he's in a film and it says Academy Award winner Michael B. Jordan. That's going to be a fun moment. But the women, the Black women of Sinners, I feel like don't get their shine as much. I mean, the cast in general is like so stacked, so fantastic. But shout out to the Black women of Sinners. But yeah, I mean, I feel like I hear any song from that soundtrack and immediately transported to when I watched it in IMAX for the first time, and when I, in the ways that Wicked Part 1 was a quarter of my personality, Sinners, I was like, well, I'm getting swept up in another thing. This is my next personality. So love Sinners. There's just so you can tell that they love movie making. They're in it for the love of the game, and it just felt so refreshing anytime I saw them. My second soundtrack is the Prince of Egypt soundtrack,
I love
specifically.
this.
Yes. When You Believe, Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey. And I recently started listening. I go through phases, like, same with you, of like the songs that always show up on the Spotify Wrapped. Like, Prince of Egypt is always gonna pull up somehow. But so we know the Knicks just won the championship. Very
Shout out to
excited
the
about
Knicks.
that. But it was at the end of game 4 when OG does this incredible tip in and wins it by 1. I posted on my story and I was like, what's the song? And I'm like, it is When You Believe, because at that moment before that happened, I was like, we need divine intervention. It is only faith.
I love that so much.
And not even like overtly religious faith. Like, I just have to believe that this is gonna work out somehow. And then he did it, and now that's all I've been listening
funny.
to. Yes.
I was like, how much pizza can I consume while we try to get game 5 up on this screen?
Oh my gosh.
We were having troubles. But
oh my gosh.
that's my thought.
Yeah.
I'm happy the Knicks won. Great. Good for the Knicks. If I never talk about basketball again, it'll be too soon.
So real. So real. Basketball of all the sports has always been my favorite one to watch live. And also as someone who, it'll be 3 years in New York City in October. So I'm brand new transplant. So it's like, wow, I moved here like right on time. Like, it's always been great, but it has been a particularly like a fun experience seeing how excited everyone is. But yeah, now that the World Cup is happening, I need to take like a week off, and then I'll dive back into that. But it's been nonstop sports for sure.
Yeah. Welcome to New York, where you have it literally. You've got 2 baseball stadiums. You've got a football stadium an hour away. You've got hockey right around everything.
Yeah.
I grew up in it, so I'm always just like,
okay. You know the vibes. Yeah. This is regular. This
is fun though, honestly, because it doesn't happen in basketball that often. It's happening much more for other sports. So you're not. It's just a little bit different, but yeah. Good for you. I hope you go and celebrate the Knicks somewhere in Manhattan. Have a fun time.
Absolutely.
I put on. You'll be there. Find the jukebox, and you put on the Prince of Egypt.
Exactly. This is how we did it.
I love that. I haven't thought about the Prince of Egypt in so long.
Yeah.
Like, you actually just made me be like, what am I doing tonight?
Exactly. I unlocked something. I mean, so I, born and raised Catholic, went to Catholic school. And so especially like K through 8th grade, that was the go-to. And it's funny now being an adult where I'm like, okay, my teacher maybe was tired because maybe they went out the night before, or like it was just always the go-to. And I loved it. I was like, this is my 80th time watching it, and the music slaps. So
Yeah,
let's do it again.
I love it. I love it. So like you, I kind of had 2.
Mm-hmm.
I put one and then it felt wrong to put one and not the other.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I will also smuggle 2 in right now. So
Yes.
I originally had The Preacher's Wife, which
Oh.
is one of my favorite Christmas movies.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And uh, 2 songs in particular, which is I Believe in You and Me by Whitney Houston.
Yes. I love the Whitney Houston
Thread.
thread.
How could you not? She's on my
Yes.
list again. So spoiler alert.
Yes, as she
Um,
should be.
so I love the song. I don't think I've ever been. I can listen to the song just fine. If I'm watching the movie and I'm watching her perform that, I have tears streaming down my
Absolutely.
face.
Absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely.
but then they have Step by Step, and I can't tell you how many times over the course of my life that I've been in a transition period and
Mm.
I've just had that as my theme song. Like,
Yep.
you can just get through it.
Yep.
But it's really only those 2 songs, and she's got other songs that she sings from the movie and stuff like that, but when I really think about, like, my true comfort soundtrack, for me, it's the Color Purple Broadway soundtrack.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I wrote my college entry paper on the Color
Oh,
Purple,
wow.
and my sister yesterday, after we saw Stranger Things, which was great, it was an immersive show, it was wonderful, and I had a good
Oh,
time.
love that.
She was like, "What is your favorite show that you've ever seen on Broadway?" And, like, hands down, The Color Purple.
Mhm.
One of those things that, I was young when it came out on Broadway. I was maybe 12,
Mhm. Mhm.
maybe a little bit older, maybe 13, but I used to go see a show every year, and I'd seen the movie and I'd read the book, and um like, hate to say, like, liked it just fine.
Yeah.
Wasn't anything that, like, wow, was revelatory for me to read this book, or like,
Mhm.
wow, like, I've seen The Color Purple the movie. There was something about the live performance and the music that is incorporated into the show. Uh when COVID hit and we were going through this peak of Black Lives Matter after George Floyd died,
Mhm.
I just it's just what I put on. There's
Mhm.
something about it that's so rooted in, like, what I truly believe God to be. And I was also raised Catholic, and I'm not super religious. So, like, I flip tarot cards and I do astrology for a living. So, like,
Yeah.
I don't mean this to be, like, serious or anything like that, but there was just something about this experience of, like, this lyric where they say, "The color purple, where does it come from? My eyes
Mhm.
are open. Look what God has done for us." And
Mhm.
just in this idea of, like, it's in the color, it's in something so simple.
Yeah.
It's in the breeze, it's in the trees. Like, this whole song is so beautiful. The titular song, The Color Purple, in the
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
Um and it's just one of those things, like, when I hear this song, I am so rooted in my own concept. I'm gonna get choked up, but, like, my own concept of faith.
Mhm.
And just there is something, no offense to white people, but, like, there is just something about, like, the way that gospel it just hits.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I wouldn't say, like, for me, canonically, like, turning on gospel is, like, a thing I'm going to do, because it's not.
Mhm.
Um, but I would say, like, when I've been able to bear witness to it, when I
Mhm.
have, there's just something so moving about it, and I think that The Color Purple and, like, the Broadway experience just takes the
Yeah.
essence of what is amazing about Black culture, and, like, what is
Mhm.
so profound about Black culture, and what is so profound about Black women and storytelling, and
Mhm.
gives it such a platform. And you walk away from that show, The Color Purple, very heavy, right? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
but you walk away from that show, and I remember, like, just leaving that show with my mom. I had cried the whole way through. I cry during every live performance. This is nothing new to anybody, but left that show and was just like, this has fundamentally changed my life. And
Yeah.
I don't even
Yeah.
know that I knew why at that point, and I don't even know if I
Mm.
would know why now?
Yeah.
Only to say that when I think about stories that I want to revisit and I think about music that I want to revisit, I have such a different experience with the movie and the book now than
Yeah.
I did when I was, younger and had read it and was like, oh, whatever,
Mhm.
it all just means so much more to me, and the story and Celia and everything that this concept of like sisterhood and
Mhm.
then like becoming a sister. I don't know, just like Celia and her story, like, will just forever be so important to me, and,
Yeah. Yeah.
to be able to have seen that on Broadway when it was being produced by Oprah, at that point,
Yes.
and to see it with the original cast and to have I have, like, a signed copy of the original cast and, a
Yes.
signed playbill, and it, like, all lives, like, so pristinely in my
Mhm.
memory and in my treasure boxes.
Yes. 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 I love so much about that. And there is, I mean, there's a literal distinction between the Broadway show and the play, or excuse me, the movie and the book. Obviously it's different mediums, but I do feel like it's important in the way that you're teasing out the Broadway show, because I read the book. I feel like I had to read it maybe like middle school or high
Mhm.
school, and was like, this is incredibly heavy. And it's not to say the Broadway play isn't, but it's different. And so like I hope for people who are listening who might have like read the book and was like, this is way too heavy. It's just such a different experience on Broadway. And so I hope people aren't writing it off, because I feel like I was one of the people who was kind of like, I don't know if I want to revisit this story, not because it's not amazing and important, but it's not necessarily the most comforting read for
Yeah.
sure. As an understatement. And then, exactly what you're saying about gospel, like one of my favorite teachers growing up, Mrs. Moreno, a Black Baddie, she brought like a gospel program to our school. And I was like, this is way more fun to sing than the other stuff that we're doing in like the traditional chorus. And I'm like, whether you're religious or not, I mean, there is so much soul and energy. There's no way you can listen to gospel and not be moved by
Yeah.
some way. And so it's just the combination of the gospel and the story. It's like, of course, we're all crying. So it's so good, so good.
Love it. Well, faith is a big part of my next one. This is actually a really good segue.
Right. I'm like, we're
But,
touching on religion a lot more than I
I
thought, but
know.
you never know where the conversation will go.
I'll let you go first, but I'll tease it there.
Yeah.
So what is your comfort performance?
Yes. So I think about I love Beyonce. I'm always ready to square up around her, because I do believe that she is the best performer on planet Earth right now. And I am torn because I've seen her live since the Formation tour. Like I was back in the nosebleeds, back when concert tickets were like maybe $50. Like I was shocked by how cheaply I was able to see her, and ever since then, I was like, I'm going to see her every single time she is live, no matter the price tag. And the price has increased, but we're still doing it. Um, but I just think about both the Renaissance tour and Cowboy Carter. I love both of those tours. Renaissance came, a couple years after the pandemic. It felt like 2023, quote unquote, was maybe one of the first, like, okay, we're kind of back
Yeah.
outside. And it just felt like such a joyous celebratory occasion. I loved, obviously it is rooted in ballroom culture. Shout out, happy Pride. And so there's something that felt really special about her really centering LGBTQ folks. And being like, we need to be outside and we need each other and we need the community and I want y'all to have a good time. And when you see her pre-Renaissance, she's gonna do full choreography for 3 hours straight. It is absolutely insane. And with Renaissance, you can tell she was like, it felt like she was a little bit more personable. I felt like she was like enjoying it more. I felt like she was calling it her like gratitude tour of like, I actually want to take a step back and like bask in the beauty of being able to do this. And so, we're having fun. She's having so much fun, especially at a time where, I mean, this was pre second Trump term, but obviously, things have shifted culturally around, marginalized identities and communities. And so for one of the biggest stars on the planet to be like, these are my people, these are the folks that I'm centering right now, felt really amazing. And and I mentioned both Renaissance and Cowboy Carter because if you look at my YouTube history, it is literally me just going back and forth. And shout out to the YouTubers who they are doing the Lord's work, back to religion, because they are setting up tripods and doing the most professional videography ever. And I'm like, thank you so much. I am going to continue watching, user 123's video on YouTube. But it just, I mean, it's just incredible to see the ways that she's using her platform and her performances and music to like be really intentional about centering marginalized folks. Both shows are very Black. Obviously all types of people pulled up to both tours, but I do appreciate that she's very clear that like I am taking us through like Black musical history. It's why I'm really excited for, whenever we get Act 3, the streets are saying it's rock music. And I'm like, I do want us to like look at the Black history of rock music and how our folks created every genre.
Truly.
But obviously, don't get the credit. And that particular music history gets erased. But yeah, I mean, it's just such a great combo of you're going to be entertained. It's like full scale Broadway production every time. Her vocals are absolutely incredible. There are big flashy moments. There's like her singing a cappella. And I just respect her so much as a musician through and through. And I feel like I learned something about Black music history from her. And especially since she doesn't do the traditional press tour, she's not really doing interviews. So it's like, if you want to hear her speaking to you directly, like you had to pull up to these tours. So again, cheating a little bit, but Renaissance, Cowboy Carter, for sure.
I don't
If I'm
think
like,
you're
I
cheating.
can't find a TV show, yeah. We make up the rules. If I can't find a TV show, if I'm like, I don't really feel like locking into a plot, I'm like, okay, here's what I'm gonna do after a long day.
I love that. I've never seen her live, never had the privilege.
Mm.
And I'm gonna be honest, there's been a few times when I've thought about it and then been like, let a young Black girl have this ticket.
I
Like
appreciate that.
I just sometimes listen, I've been to every Taylor Swift concert, okay? And if I
Yeah.
looked next door and it was a bunch of Black baddies, I'd be like,
Yeah.
what are we doing right now?
Right.
It's just not the same. You just don't
Yeah.
see Black people in general, whether it's women or men, like pulling up to a predominantly white space that way. It's just not the same. I just have always felt like if I have the opportunity and it feels right and I was with the right people and the right circumstances, but especially now that, like you said, concerts are so fucking hard to
Yeah.
get to.
Yeah.
We just tried to get tickets to go see Gracie Abrams, an
Mhm.
artist that I don't think should be selling out in
No.
15 minutes.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
I was like, this is insane
Insane.
that we
Insane.
can't get these tickets.
Yeah.
No shade to Gracie Abrams. I think
Right.
you're
She
great.
might listen to this. Imagine the irony of all the celebrities we've mentioned, she's the one that actually listens to this.
No shade. No shade. I think you're incredibly talented. I wanted to come see you. I just don't think that you should be selling out as fast as freaking
Exactly.
Beyonce.
Let's get some comp tickets, please.
Yeah, exactly. Send me some comp tickets. I would love to take my sisters to your show.
Yeah.
So I've not had the pleasure of going to see her, but I have watched the Coachella performance many times on
yeah.
TV.
Yes.
And get choked up literally every time she says that she's the
Ugh.
first Black woman to headline Coachella. I mean,
Wild.
just the amount that she's been there for all of us growing up, she's
literally
been
raised us.
so true. Like in every I once missed. I'm giving you deep lore right now, okay?
Yes.
I had a curfew
Mhm.
of 5 p.m. on a school day in elementary school because my mom worked. So usually I would go either to after school or I would leave with friends or whatever. And I went to after school much more after 9/11. But before
Mm-hmm.
9/11, I used to just leave and ride my bike around with my friends, and I'd have to be home at 5 when my mom got home.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like a pre-digital era. It feels weird to say this.
Yeah.
Um, and I had a friend who lived around the block. Her name was Cassie. And twice in my life I've gotten in trouble for this, and it was twice that I was with Cassie because me and Cassie were BFFs. Um, I missed my curfew because the Crazy in Love music video was coming out on
Oh,
MTV at 5
yes.
p.m.
Yes.
So I was like, I'm gonna obviously do it, but then of course it's never just the music video. It's like the preface, the how they made it, the
The
this, the
making
that,
of,
the so
yes,
and then they would
yes,
release it at like 5:30. So I'm
yes.
locked in to
Absolutely.
Beyonce land. And
Yeah.
I got home and my mom reamed me out. And the second
Right.
time I ever did that was the Dirty video by Christina
Oh,
Aguilera.
Christina Aguilera.
But
Yes.
I remember distinctly being
Yeah.
like, but mom,
Right.
it was the Crazy in Love music video.
Right. That was the
I
original
was
cultural
forever
reset.
changed by her licking her thumb and swiping it down her body. Like,
Yes.
that
Yes.
was, what are you talking about? I've been
Right.
made now.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh,
So I
yes.
haven't ever seen her live, but I can envision what kind of performer she is. I've seen videos, we've all
Yeah.
seen the somebody's getting fired. Like,
Yeah. Oh my God.
the type of
Yeah.
details that she's putting into her performances.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
I hope one day to see her, to be
Please.
honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited for the rock album. I'm
Yeah.
not a big country fan. I understand like the MO of the album, but
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Cowboy Carter, I was like, okay. I listened to it once and I like moved on with my life. But yeah, the rock one, especially hopefully getting into like not just like rock proper, but like also Motown
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Motown, which is my favorite genre of
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see kind of what she comes out with next, and I feel like
Yeah.
she's at a point in
Yeah.
her career where she is having fun and she is playing
Absolutely.
around a lot, and she can just do whatever she
She
wants,
can
and
do
we
whatever
just
she
say,
wants.
okay, Beyonce,
Yeah. Yeah.
great,
Yeah. I'm like, and I mean, her range is incredible because
amazing.
I'm like, yes, keep taking us through all of these genres. And I'm in a bunch of like Beyonce Reddits and
I love that.
some of I love Beyonce and then I see what some of these Beehive members are posting and I'm like, some of y'all are delusional, but we love y'all. Um there is a theory that if she releases the album like this year, she becomes eligible to be nominated to join the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2027. And so I'm
Amazing.
like, yes, I love the combo of a rock album, particularly because of the fact that, she could or is at least eligible to be inducted and should, but these people like to play her and I just feel like she's in such a place like you said she's doing whatever she wants. She, has gotten every accolade and everything and it's just like I'm doing it for the love of the game. I'm doing it because I love music and I'm a
Yeah.
deep musician. So whether you all induct me on the first try or not, I feel like she's like, well, you all know my impact. I think her impact
Yeah.
is cannot be denied regardless.
No, and I think that at this point where you have people making art for political purposes, even if the undertone of the lyrics or the music in particular isn't, but just like conceptually, like you said, like,
Mhm.
hey, everything is derived from Black culture. I
Mhm.
think that that's such a profound art statement to be able to make all of these different historically grounded musical albums and to be able to genre swing between all of them,
Yeah.
I think is like such a testament to her artistry. And I mean, I don't think that there is anyone that you can like point to, very few people that you can point to and say like that's somebody who's like truly dedicated to their craft.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
for that we love Beyonce. For
Yes.
many things we love
For
Beyonce. I
many
mean,
reasons. Yes, yes, absolutely.
so I'm coming back to religion.
Yes, let's do it. Let's do it.
um we've been baptized by the spirit of Beyonce.
Exactly.
Uh
Exactly.
my comfort performance is, it's sort of a part one, part two. Um it is, I'm gonna go with Lauryn Hill first in Sister Act.
Oh,
But also Whoopi Goldberg. Um
love Whoopi.
I
Yes.
mean, Dolores Van Cartier, you know? There was just, like, very few movies that I had on a rotation at home. School of Rock was one of them.
Oh,
Pirates of the Caribbean was one of them.
yes. Yes.
Josie and the Pussycats. You could, like, tell I was, like, queer and feminist, like, early on. But, like,
Yeah.
but, one of them was Sister Act 1 and 2. I loved these movies. They are such an important part of my childhood. um, they remind me so much of my family and sitting around with my cousins and watching
Yes.
it and
Yes.
singing the songs on car trips. And I just really love these movies. But I think that there is something, like, if I go with like a specific performance, I get choked up. Again, if I'm watching the movie, it's a little bit different, but if I'm watching like a YouTube clip or I'm listening to the song, every single time I hear Joyful Joyful,
So
I
good.
have those tears.
Yeah.
Now, there is something about looking back at this that kind of does give me teen mania vibes now,
Mm-hmm.
where I'm like, is this a little bit of religious fanaticism that we were doing in this? But I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
Um, but truly, like, no, right? Like the movie proper, no. But when I watch that particular thing, I'm like, oh, and you see like the teen mania videos.
Yeah.
I don't know how often you watch cult stuff, but I watch religious cult stuff all the time. I find it deeply fascinating.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I actually find it disturbing is my favorite kind of horror show. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
so I watch a lot of that, probably to heal my own like religious trauma, but
Mm,
that's
so real.
certainly not as deep as like these fundamentalists or like evangelicals.
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah.
so for the second time this week mentioning an evangelical on this podcast, and I'm just gonna say, if you have found yourself here, baby, it's not for you. But for the like the again zero evangelicalists that have seen my evangelists, that was the correct that will find my podcast and see Femme Furious and will be like, skip that one.
Right.
But I love this this performance. Lauryn Hill, I saw her at Bonnaroo and
Mm,
she did a very stripped down version of this,
oh,
and it
love that.
was a moment in my life that I felt defined.
Yeah.
Like everything comes to a head and life is so
Yes.
perfect, and
Yes.
here I am with my friends sweating in a Bonnaroo mosh pit 10 feet from
Yes.
Lauryn Hill singing a song that I sang my entire childhood.
Oh, I love
Which
that.
is like every Lauryn Hill song too, by the way. Like it
Yeah,
wasn't just
of
this song,
course.
but
Of course.
in particular for her to sing this song from Sister Act and the impact that Sister Act 1 and 2 had on my life.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like such an undeniable experience for me. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love, love, love this song. I'm surprised by how much religion came up today,
I
but
know. You never know. There's something so, so special about seeing a performer that you really admire singing a song like from your childhood. Like that combo is so transformative. And it's, Lauryn Hill is phenomenal. That soundtrack is great. Um, yeah, Whoopi Goldberg. I'm like, obviously Whoopi Goldberg is still around, but like that particular run in her career, I'm like, oh, that was a good time. I wish I was a little older to like experience that like
Mm.
live as it was airing. But yeah, another reason why we got to get these concert prices down because it's like to be able to see an artist live should not be a luxury experience. Like everybody and anybody should be able to do it. It's just so transformative every time.
It really is. And I'm so fortunate because where I am on Long Island, I don't know if you've been out this way for a concert, but we have Jones Beach Theater. That's
Okay,
where
I
I
have not
worked
been there.
all high school, all college.
Okay.
I did other jobs too, but I always had it as a summer job. It was a seasonal thing.
Mhm.
But back then, Jones Beach was still considered a state park, so you couldn't drink. And so the concession stands were only opened until after whoever the opener was. And
Mhm.
I saw so many people this way because I would just
Smart. Smart.
go into the audience afterwards, or there was like a special place that we could go to and
Yeah.
watch from like
Yeah.
off to the side.
Mhm.
um I saw so many people this way, and so many things that like so many artists that I really like loved and admired and respected that like quite frankly like just no one would want to see with me, and I've loved all types of music my whole life.
Mhm. Same.
So, like, I saw Earth, Wind& and Fire there by myself and I was the
Nice.
only little white girl in the crowd, but I knew
Yeah.
every song and every word,
Yep.
and
Yep.
it was, like, in my little work shirt with my cell phone at the time.
Yes.
But so many concerts that I've been able to see, and that's why music festivals, honestly, I think are, like, a route that people should do, even though the
Yeah.
older I get, the more I'm like, "Ew,"
Let's
I
talk
like
about it.
but you're paying the same amount for you're actually paying a cheaper amount to go see multiple people
So
over the
many
course of
people.
a weekend, and I saw, like, Paul McCartney at Bonnaroo.
Yeah.
I was like, I would
Casual.
never be able to afford to see
No.
Paul McCartney. I spent $250 on these tickets. I saw Elton John at Bonnaroo,
Wow.
Lauryn
Yeah.
Hill.
Yeah.
I mean, so many people that I've seen that either I would want to see or not want to see. I saw Tom Petty the year before he died.
As
But like I
he's
think a
known
music
for.
festival is like such a great experience for people to go and see some artists that maybe you've never been exposed to, maybe you would never want to see.
Kendrick.
Kendrick Lamar, who is definitely listening to this podcast,
Definitely.
um, had not even had a hit on the radio at this point. And I'm
Mhm.
like, this man has won a Pulitzer Prize.
Pulitzer Prize.
This is a Pulitzer Prize winning
Yeah.
award. Oh, talk about an award winning man.
Award winner.
Opened for
Yes.
Macklemore
Right.
and Ryan Lewis.
Which that Grammys there was a time where Macklemore I think won some rap Grammy over Kendrick Lamar. I remember that and was like and even he was kind of like this shouldn't have happened. Yeah, Kendrick is great. I've seen him a bunch of times. He's always a good time.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal performer.
Such a good performer. Yeah, he's great. Yeah, I mean, I feel like, kind of going back to like algorithms, even the way that we listen to music is so different. Like we used to, you would just turn on the radio and like whatever was there was what you were listening. And like naturally, I think about MTV was always playing music videos. So, I had my favorites, but I was like, I'm listening to both Beyonce and Fall Out Boy, and I love both
Mhm.
of these people just as much. So these algorithms, they like saturate us in, our current likes, but we don't get introduced to new
Yeah.
artists. And so it feels like even though these music festivals I feel you on like I just thinking about being at a music festival right now
I
like makes my body sore,
know.
but you make a good point that that feels like one of the few ways to get exposed. Like, okay, I'm in here already. I might as well take advantage of, and see all these different people. And you get to go home knowing that you saw somebody or a couple people that you really love. And you're like, oh, I learned about someone today. Let me like go dig into their
Yeah,
entire discography, which I love to do.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right, my dear, take us home. What is your cultural moment?
Yes. So I was torn. Obviously, the Knicks are on my mind. They're a different set of black baddies. But honestly, we were talking about starting to talk about like awards. I love award shows. I'm always sat for the Oscars, the Grammys, all that season of time. I love it. And so I just think about I am always so happy when our black folks win awards, especially, when it is long overdue. And so I think about Halle Berry winning Best Actress for the Oscar and thinking about how she is still the only black woman who has won that. I think about Viola Davis, Kerry Washington winning their Emmys for their shows. I also think about, Beyonce finally winning Album of the Year for Cowboy Carter. And so any time it is in particular like a Black woman artist winning an award on such a big stage, it's like I'm torn because it's like we know that certain people get accolades. It's a whole business of like who gets awards and who doesn't. And it still always feels so sweet and it always like just feels so inspiring. And I am always like, I'm so happy for this person that I've never met. Maybe I will one day, but it also is just so inspiring to see the discourse online when one of us wins a really big award. And I'm also, I'm like energized. I'm like revved up. I'm like, I'm going to run a marathon. I'm going to launch this podcast. I'm going to do this. Like, so there is like the joy of, a Black woman winning an award on some of the biggest stages. And then also the ways that it like reverberates out and how we like still talk about these cultural moments. So a broad category of whenever a Black woman wins an Oscar, Emmy, Grammy, etc.
I love that. You touched on like a few things that I was gonna put in. So I was like looking at my list and I was like, how do I not put Viola Davis on here somewhere? And so like one of the cultural moments that I was thinking about with her in particular was, and I wish I could remember the monologue, she ate this shit up. But that
Mhm.
first episode of How to Get Away with
Oh,
Murder, and they're sitting in the classroom and she walks in and you
yeah.
don't see her face yet. You
Yep,
just kind of
yep,
like, she just walks over to the board and she writes,
yep.
also known as, like, this is
Yes.
whatever class 101, also
Right.
known as How to Get
How to
Away
Get
with
Away with
Murder. And she turns around and the
Murder.
camera like zooms in on
Yes.
her face and you're just like, God, it's like good to be alive. Like,
Yes. This is
TV
why
is
we're
so
still
in
here.
right now.
Right. We're so back. I
Yeah.
also love, I'm sure there's a name for this type of like shot. This is going to sound so weird, but like when a character is walking from behind and every time it gets me, I'm like, this is about to eat so bad. When they inevitably turn around, it's going to be absolutely insane.
Yeah. Great cultural moment.
Yeah.
I think that's one that has like, it's like, oh, when I think about that show, I think about that moment, but like I
Yeah.
don't know if I would say it's like a larger cultural moment, which is why I ultimately didn't put it down. Um and so I have two. I'm
Yeah.
smuggling one. So the first one is my sort of my smuggle. I'll do my smuggle first and then I'll do my real one.
Yeah.
Is Whitney Houston's singing the national anthem.
Oh, how could I
I
forget?
just feel like if I actually was gonna
Ooh.
pick, I would pick Jimi Hendrix. But because this is a Black Baddie draft, okay, I left him off the
Mm.
list. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
there is something I think so profound about a Black woman singing the national anthem in America.
Mhm,
I don't
mhm.
even think, like, you need to go any further than that. I think, like, it just, like, writes itself.
Yeah,
It's so emotional. It's the best version of the national anthem. Everyone else fucking sucks. I can't
it's
stand
not good.
anyone else's national anthem. I don't wanna
No.
I actually can't stand the national anthem when it's playing at
Well,
a sporting event or anything. This is not just, like, normal anti-patriotism. Like, I'm just like, this is annoying. This is, like, how people probably feel about theme songs. They're like,
right, right. Let's
can we skip the
skip
America
this.
theme song?
Right. It's a
Um,
jump scare every time. I've been
it's
watching all these
awful.
Knicks games and I'm like, whoa, we're still doing that. Okay.
It's
Okay.
awful. And then there's something even more, like, confounding about it when you have it playing in these predominantly Black sports, like
Mhm,
football and
mhm,
basketball.
mhm.
And then you have, people singing about, I don't know, anyway, it's just like, it all gives me the ick and, like, the heebie-jeebies.
Absolutely.
There's
Yeah.
something really speaking of cults, like, cult-like about the national
Yes.
anthem in a way that, like, when I listen to, like, FIFA, for example, and I listen to those people sing their national anthems, I'm like, "That sounds like camaraderie." I don't know.
Exactly.
I think it's just
Exactly.
America right now in this moment that is
Yeah.
making me feel that way, but there's something about, Whitney Houston's version of it that I think is, takes the bite out of it for
Oh
me.
yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, my mom always is like, that is the best rendition of the national anthem. And anytime growing up, we've, watched something where someone's singing it, I already know she's going to hate it because it's not Whitney Houston. And I love that that continues to be the theme of this episode. So love
Yeah,
her.
right.
Love her.
We love Whitney. We stand Whitney on this podcast.
Yes.
My real cultural moment, one that lives for me pop culturally that I saw because the Super Bowl happened. Whitney Houston singing at the Super Bowl happened a year before I was born. So I've
Mm-hmm.
never seen it live. I've seen videos of it, but I've never seen
Yep.
it live. I will never forget when Beyonce
Mm-hmm.
was releasing Ring the Alarm.
Yes.
I think it was the MTV Music Awards.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that entire performance, because there was no music at this point, there was just
Yeah.
her and the microphone and the
Yeah, she's in a trench coat.
she's in the trench coat.
Yes.
They're all
Yes.
doing these like robotic moves
Isolated.
to the
Yes.
I think about
So
that
good.
performance and I'm like, like
Yes.
I love that performance so much. And when I think about Beyonce as an artist, I think about that because I'm like, as a theater girly, do you know
Mm-hmm.
how hard it is in
Yeah.
time with not music, because it wasn't music, it
No
was just
music.
sound cues
Yeah.
to be
Yeah.
able to hit those moves
Yep.
to such precision on
Right.
live TV.
Effortlessly too.
I think about in heels.
In heels. Always. She was sprinting around in heels back in those days.
And then you come out with this banger of a song against Jay-Z.
Banger.
Ring the
Yep.
Alarm, right?
Yep.
I
Yep.
had not even dated anybody at that point. I've never felt so wronged in my life.
Right. You're already mad. You're
I was
pre-mad at
ready
whoever's next. Yeah.
to be in the
Yeah.
Beyonce army. I was ready to put on a
Absolutely.
trench coat. I was ready to go to
Yes.
war.
That's right. To put on a trench coat. This is why we're excited for Act 3, because I'm like,
Yeah.
she's been genre bending and doing the rock thing, and it's just so good. She's so angry. I love it.
I love it too. Listen, I think feminine rage is
Oh yeah.
hot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Quite frankly. And I don't think that anyone is, literally no one's more disenfranchised than a Black woman. So when you have somebody
Mhm.
that can give artistry to it, not that it needs artistry, it doesn't need to be tamped down or something that's artful to be like legitimate, but the fact that like you can give other people who are feeling that a pathway
Yeah.
to experience that and to go through those motions through art, I think is a testament to an artist, and I think she does it the best.
100%. 100%. Love it.
We've done it. We did
did
a
it.
show.
We did it. Woohoo. This was
We've
so
talked about
fun.
so many Black baddies, tagging all of their agents.
Yes, yes. Agents, social media managers, everybody. Mothers, children. Yeah. Yeah.
Mothers. Just send them like a copy of the QR code.
Yes, exactly.
Well, thank you so much. I
Of
cannot tell you enough
course.
how grateful I am that you came on for this episode. This episode is important to me and I simply cannot do it alone. So,
Yeah.
I'm so glad that we're here on Juneteenth, that we're sharing this with anyone who's listening on Juneteenth, and
Yeah.
to anyone who's listening, Black Baddie or Black Baddie listener,
Right.
Black Baddie adjacent, I don't know.
Right. Adjacent.
White baddie in favor of Black baddie culture.
Yes.
To everyone listening, I just say thank you. Go listen to Tang's show. Consider this for
Woohoo.
comfort. Submit to her podcast. You can submit questions where she will give you some antidotes,
Yes.
some
Yes.
recommendations, and go support our resident Black baddie for the day.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. It's been so fun doing this. Talking about pop culture is, the goal is to be able to do this full time. So it's always an honor and a pleasure to have the opportunity. So thank you for this platform. And it's just clear how much intention that, you put into this as someone who, seeks to be an ally to Black women. So I appreciate the way you are modeling how to do this, because there's a lot of
Thank you.
examples that aren't great. So yeah, just really appreciate what you're doing here.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna cry.
Yeah.
No, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm sure we'll be back for another mashup at another point.
Oh, anytime, anytime.
I know I could talk to you all day. So I will tag all of your stuff in the show notes. So everyone listening, go and follow and like and comment and show Eteng some love.
Yes,
And
please.
go follow her podcast. If you like this podcast, you'll certainly love her show. And yeah, anything you want to emphasize? Anything coming
Yeah.
up? What do you have going on?
Yeah. I mean, so Consider This for Comfort season 5. I'm currently recording that. So keep an eye out for that to start airing end of July, early August. In the meantime, obviously like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram. You can follow the podcast at Consider Comfort Pod, as well as you can follow me personally on Instagram at Eteng with 3 G's, ETENGGG. And then I also write a companion newsletter called Eteng's Edit. So you can subscribe to that on my website. That's my first and last name, ETENGETTAH.com. And the newsletter is very much an extension of the podcast. So more of my musings and thoughts and hot takes on all the fun things that are coming out in the TV, film, culture space. And so that's a monthly newsletter. So a lot of very fun things coming from me. So get in now so that, you're ready when all the good stuff comes to your inbox.
I love it. I will tag all of that in the show notes for everyone listening. Everything that she just mentioned will be down there for you to just go click and make your way to all of her wonderful content. Her newsletter is phenomenal. I do
Thank
follow it.
you.
And thank you so much. Thank you for being here. And I'll see you.
Yeah. See you soon. Catch you on the flip side.
Goodbye, my dear.
Yeah, take care.
Bye.